My first tip when trying to quickly assess CVs is to be organised. It's vital that you'll have some level of organisation in the process.
And this is not as difficult as it sounds. With Outlook, there are various ways that you can create subfolders. So take an example, you're advertising for 3 positions: support manager, IT manager, secretary. The last thing you want is to add problems to yourself by actually having to go through an inbox that's full of responses for all those 3 positions. And this is where you can create subfolders, so 1 for each position.
Well, that also seems like a very good idea. Is there anything you can do further from that to organise yourself even better?
Very much so. What I then do is then take those subfolders and then subdivide them again, and then create yes, no, and maybe. So that way you're partway through creating your shortlist already.
I suppose thinking about it, whilst that's for email response, you could probably do the same thing if the responses come in by post as well. So if you create a physical folder of yes, no, and maybe, you're reading the CV, the physical CV in this instance, and putting it onto the piles accordingly.
Exactly right. It's just about being organised. So Mark, tell me, you've got this inbox, it's beautifully divided. How do you then get the shortlist?
The crucial thing with this is to be ruthless. The first thing I do is set myself some killer criteria.
Right, okay.
And there are 3 main ones for me. The first one, location. So you could say very quickly, I want the applicant to live within 10 miles of my office. And so anybody that doesn't live within 10 miles of the office, you can reject.
Okay.
The second thing is education. So you could say, I want them to have a particular degree or a particular level of high school education or even something vocational. And again, those that don't meet it, you can quickly reject them and narrow the shortlist down further. And the third aspect is experience. Most jobs need a certain level of experience, so you could set that and say, right, I need them to have a particular level of experience in my industry or in a job function, and those that don't meet it, again, you can quickly reject them, so that you've got a very large application base down to a reasonably manageable shortlist.
Okay, I can see how that can work, but that can still leave you with 9 or 10 candidates. What I would tend to then do is benchmark the candidates against the job, so desirable and essential, because you could have 10, 15 people that seem absolutely right for the job, but it's key again to be ruthless and get those down to the people that actually meet all the desirable criteria before going for people that meet other areas as well.
I suppose an easier way to do that, or an easy way to do that, would be to have a tick list and maybe say, right, they must tick 6 out of the 8 boxes, and if they do, brilliant, but if they don't, like you say, be ruthless and reject them.
Exactly, you can be quite clinical about it, giving people a score out of 10. I'll tell you one of the key things I found when trying to go through this many CVs is lack of focus. I have found myself on a number of occasions reading the same CV twice, probably not digesting it. What do you suggest we could do on this?
Well, part of the problem in today's office environment, be it if you're in your own office or if you're in an open plan office, is the number of distractions. A knock at the door, somebody approaching your desk, your mobile phone going, your desk phone going, some commotion going on somewhere else in the office. All these things can distract you and let you lose focus. So you need to find a way of getting that focus back in.
I think you're absolutely right. The key thing is to allocate yourself some time when you're actually going to focus on the task of going through these CVs. Let other people know you're not to be disturbed, turn your phone off and concentrate on what you're doing. Another tip is actually give yourself a certain amount of time, very strictly, say 2 minutes, on how much time you've got to look through each CV.